Hey, what's going on? We are Pull the Plug Podcast with myself, Mrs. Godzilla.
And me, Justin G.
Myself, Justin Briner.
And me, Sarah M.
Pull the Plug Podcast, it's a place where music fans, pop culture nerds, and people who love dick jokes come together each week.
A place of worship, if you will.
Check us out at ptppodcast.com for all your dick needs.
Hi everyone, I'm Tung.
And I'm Sam.
I'm Laura.
I'm Brad.
And we are the Pixar Pals, or you might know us as
Disney
Dummies. What an introduction. Usually we
We're
go
professionals.
Yeah, it's like, and I'm this person at the end. Like, you know, on like a movie poster when it's like, and this celebrity?
Meryl Streep.
Dustin Hoffman. That's all I know. Those
Morgan
two people.
Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
That's it. All those people.
May he rest in peace.
Anyways, this is Pixar Pals, and actually it's Pixar Shorties right now. We are on our 4th episode of Pixar Shorties, the limited series run where we are going through all of Pixar theatrical shorts in chronological order. We are getting towards the end of this limited run, and I'm going to start off the show by saying, like, since the last time we recorded, between episode 3 and 4, there was a change on the Pixar website that changed the shorts that we're going to be talking about today. They don't have that page where it says, these are the Pixar theatrical shorts, and this is why it's important that we have these shorts. They just have a page now that has all of their shorts. So we're like, oh, what is this podcast right now then?
It's been a real opportunity for us to take a good hard look in the mirror.
That's right. And what I have come to realize is this podcast, yes, it is the theatrical shorts, but it's also the original shorts. Because in I think in the last episode, we're teasing that we were going to do Party Central, which has Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc. And I guess his party that he has.
Can you press that button and say Mike Wazowski?
Mike Wazowski.
There it is.
And our listeners are terrified right now. Listen, what just happened?
They didn't see that coming.
Yeah. So Pixar original shorts, because the other theatrical shorts or even these extended shorts, not Spark shorts or anything, but a lot of shorts that Pixar has made have to do with, they're just kind of like spin-offs of existing Pixar properties. So there's like a Mater short. There's multiple Monsters, Inc. shorts. There was recently an Up short of Carl's next date or first date. I forget. Carl's date. Yeah. And a lot of those shorts are just based on existing Pixar properties, but not the shorts that we're doing in Pixar Shorties. All that to say is that we changed one short for today. So in case you were wondering and following along, you're like, I listened to Party Central and now I have to go back and watch one more. Are you kidding me? Sorry.
If this was you, please email us.
At fuckyoutongue@podcavern.com.
Well, that's not very nice.
No, that's not very nice. Screw you tongue at podcavern.com.
That's a little bit better. Or I get to watch one more Pixar short this week at podcavern.com. So those shorts that we're talking about today are going to be Day and Night, La Luna, The Blue Umbrella, and Lava. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say and tease out that at some point in this episode, Sam's going to talk about when she was crying, apparently, at one of these shorts, and Brad walked in on her crying. I can't wait to hear which one.
Like, that's never happened before.
I know. It's like, stop me if you ever heard this before. And I'm like, listen, I'm like looking at the shorts that we're talking about today. I'm like, which one did you cry at? I'm going to.
Oh, I know.
Well, of course
Not because I saw it, but I knew immediately.
I have an idea, but we'll see. We'll tease it out. Sam, you let us know. Instead of the Wii U, Sam needs her own crying alarm.
Wah, wah.
Yeah. All right, so I'll go first. Today, I'll be talking about Day and Night. I believe it was in 2019. It came right before Toy Story 3. And it got 8 out of 10 on IMDb and 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. Does anyone have nostalgia? Actually, we'll talk about... Do we usually talk about nostalgia for all of them? Yes, we do.
We usually do as a group. But
Yeah.
I feel like it might get spoilery.
Might get spoilery.
Intriguing. Yeah, we can talk about them individually
I
this
don't
week.
know.
Okay.
I mean, I guess we could.
No, let's do it
just-
all at once, but we'll just keep it vague. Like, has anyone seen all of these shorts before today?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I have not seen all these shorts. I think I didn't see La Luna and the Blue Umbrella before. How about you, Laura?
I hadn't seen the Blue Umbrella, but I think I'd seen the rest of them.
Okay. And you've all seen every single one of them. That's our nostalgia, everyone.
Some of them a bajillion times.
Interesting. Well, the one that I'm talking about today, I've seen multiple times because it came before one of my favorite movies ever, Toy Story 3. So for this short here, oh, it was 2010. Sorry, apologies, 2010. I said 2019. Did I say that? Anyways, doesn't matter. 2010. So with this short, I think I'll just go right into the summary, and then we can go through the rest of these things here. So how this short opens is we get like kind of like a farm scenery right now. We get a cuckoo from a rooster, a caca, if you will. We get some mooing.
A cock-a-doodle-doo?
A cock-a-doodle-doo, a cuckoo and a cock-a-doodle-doo. Words are hard tonight, everyone. Yeah. And so we see this, but we start zooming out, and quickly we start zooming out. We start with like 3D animation, but we zoom out into this 2D body, which is super cool. It's so fucking cool. I'm sure you guys will have animation angle people will have lots to say about this one, maybe, but instantly it's striking because all of this daytime animation and nighttime animation that we'll be getting into happen within these 2D bodies. So we're introduced to, I don't know if they have a name, but I'm going to call him Day. That's probably what their name is. And it's cool because like all of the emotions and feelings and everything, all the actions that are happening inside Day and Night's bodies are reflective of the scenery that's happening within them. So that I'll get into that in just a second. So like, for example, like Day, when he needs to go to the bathroom, he'll run a little bit and then he's in front of like a flowing river. If he needs to take like a breath of fresh air, he moves a little bit to a scenery within himself that has like wind blowing and trees and like the morning air type of thing. And this whole movie or short has stuff like that going on in it. So Day is kind of moving around, doing his thing, running around, and inside of him, there's like people jogging inside of him too. So it's very reflective of what's happening inside and out. And he runs into someone sleeping who is Night. And Night within himself has sheep kind of jumping over a fence, counting sheep when you're sleeping. You get it? So they both discover each other and then they're like, whoa, that's cool. Or like, actually, they don't say that yet. They're actually for a good chunk of this short, they're kind of rivals. They're competing against each other because they don't know each other's deal. And so Day is a bit snobby about this, being like, what's up with this guy? What's his deal? He even like kind of pokes him in the wiener, which is kind of weird. It's the wiener or the belly.
An ass.
Yeah.
Some may call it a belly. Yeah.
Belly. It's very close to the wiener.
Yeah, I don't
area.
remember a wiener poke.
Yeah.
Roll
you watched
back
a different
the tape.
version, I think.
Yeah. I watched
John
the
Lasseter
John
version.
Lasseter. Me too. So they both start showing off and fighting things like Night slapping Day, and within Day you see like a giant tree falling, for example. Really cool shit. It's hard to describe every single moment that happens this. It's a very, very visual short. Things like they're dragging each other down a cliff, and within them there is a cliff and people falling and they fall into water. And then you get some like scene where Night is like, whoa, what's going on inside Day? Oh, it's a girl in a bikini. I'm into that. Which is kind of creepy, I guess. And then he's just like, I want to be where the bikini girl is. So he kind of steps into where daytime is right now. And he's like, whoa, there's no bikini girl when I step into where daytime is. It's like the same scene, but night, obviously. Yeah. And then same thing happens again where like Day is showing like a bunch of hot teens. I don't know if they're hot teens, but like a lot of people having fun at a pool. And Night's like, that's cool. I want to go to the pool. And so when he steps into that scene, the pool is empty. And
Pool's
it's just
covered.
Pool's covered.
Covered.
Closed.
Closed for the night.
Do you cover your pool every night, Brad? Sam?
Not like that. That's like closed
We
for the
used to.
winter. No,
Oh.
but we have like a solar cover. Like that's like closed for winter. That's not a quick thing to do.
Yeah, it's like every single day they start doing that. That's
Yeah.
a lot of maintenance. So after that, after some like rivalry and competing, they start showing off some cool stuff too. So like nighttime has fireflies inside of his belly. Daytime shows off like a rainbow. Nighttime shows off like fireworks. And they both show off the daytime version of Vegas and the nighttime version of Vegas. And then they're like, this is fucking awesome. They start dancing with each other and be like, you're not so bad after all. And then we get like a really on the nose broadcast message that happens that basically says like, hey, our differences are what makes us who we are. And like some of the most beautiful things in this world are the ones that are the most mysterious things in the world. And then they start looking at each other and like, interesting. And they like kind of like are side by side, kind of hugging each other on the shoulder. And actually, there's a really cool moment where they both look the same because one of them is in sunset mode and one of them's in sunrise mode, and the sun meets in the middle. And it's a really cool visual thing that happens. And then they hug each other because they're like, you know what? We have more similarities than differences. And they're hugging, and whoa, daytime becomes night, night becomes day. They're two different beings now, and nighttime gets to see his bikini girl. That's all he's ever wanted.
All he cares about.
So fucking stoked to have the bikini girl. And daytime, who's now night, is stoked to have Las Vegas inside of him. And that's it. Now they're friends, embracing the idea that differences can lead to new perspectives, and they start walking towards the screen, and boom, the end.
I feel like the broadcast also is like, you shouldn't judge people right away and be like, I feel like it kind of comes down and they both feel guilty at first. They're like, oh no, we were like dicks to each other.
Yeah, which I think is a cool message in this short film. I don't know if they needed the broadcast message. Maybe that's a hot take to really like bring it home. It's pretty like on the nose about it, but
It's pretty heavy-handed.
Yeah, but otherwise, like, what did everyone think about this short?
I liked it. I actually liked the radio message. I thought it was surprisingly profound, if on the nose, but I kind of think that like for a kid watching it, for us as adults, we're like, oh yeah, like unity and we're all neighbors and don't judge a book by its cover and that sort of thing. But I feel like as a kid watching it, it would kind of have made me think a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair.
In a way that
especially because you're laughing along, like it's like encouraging you to laugh at them hating each other.
Exactly.
So then to hit you with that is like, oh, we were wrong,
Oh,
and we all were
here.
just laughing. Like,
Yeah. Brad, did you enjoy this short film?
Yeah, I like this one. It's visually very appealing. I like like you were saying, the two windows, but it's like the exact same scene inside both of their silhouettes, but one is day and one is night. And it's very inventive, very unique.
Yeah, for me, this is... maybe it's because I saw Toy Story 3 so many times, but I've seen this short a lot of times, and I think it's like one of my favorite out of like all of them. I think it's just so... It's so visually striking and so inventive on the way they handle
different style of animation. Yeah.
I think this
it's
is
just
like
the bikini girl tongue. We know you like the
I have
bikini
something
girl.
on the bikini girl in my Pixar particular.
Oh my god.
Sorry, Sam.
I was going to say, I think this short demonstrates, I don't know how to word this, but like, I think this is like the beauty of animation in a short. Like, even listening to you describe it, I'm like, this is such a hard one to explain because it's so visual. It's such a visual story that is happening, and you could only do this in animation. And I think it's so cool. So this was like definitely one of my favorites too, and I've also seen it a million times, and I think it's also because I watched Toy Story 3 a lot, but it would also be one I would seek out. And I do remember this one specifically in theaters, like blowing my mind so hard that I remember the short ended
screen.
And whoever I was with at the time, I was like, I could just leave. Like that was worth the
Walk
ticket
out.
price right there. Like I was like,
Who needs Toy Story 3?
blew my mind. And then
What
Toy Story 3 then
a
proceeded. And I was
double
like, wow.
feature.
Wow.
Day and night, then Toy Story 3. That's the night of the movies. Tell you what.
Oh my god. Yes, I think I was just dead after.
Yeah. Let's get into some Pixar particulars. So, girl in the bikini, I was teasing it out earlier. That same girl apparently is the same mermaid lady from Knick Knack.
Is it? Didn't surprise me.
I wondered.
I was wondering, as soon as you were like, I have something, my brain started running, and I was like, I wonder if it's that girl from that
Of
short.
course.
For those of you who did not listen to the Knick Knack episode of Pixar Shorties, it's a short where like a snowman in a globe gets really horned up from a bikini girl that basically is trying to lure him to get outside of his globe. And in the original version, not the one on Disney Plus right now, in the original version, she had ginormous knockers that we did look up later.
And I think you
it's
could call them
ridiculous.
knockers because they look like they would have knocked.
Yeah.
Massive.
You
Yeah.
could your balance would be way off.
Yeah.
So you-
For sure. The radio broadcast is an actual speech by motivational speaker and writer Dr. Wayne Dyer. His words emphasize that fear often comes from misunderstanding things that are different from ourselves. A perfect message for the shorts narrative. So yes, that pretty much sums it up.
I cried the first time I watched this.
Oh, you did?
That
Yeah.
part, yeah.
But not last night. So it's not the
No,
thing
no,
okay.
that's not the moment. That's not the moment.
Okay.
No.
All right. And then Day and Night was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Animated Short, but it lost, actually. And I'm like, what would it
What?
lose to? Yeah. It lost to The Lost Thing. I don't know what that is, guys.
You
I
think
don't
the
know what that
Lost
one is.
thing would have lost?
That's true. And the last thing I have for it is it's Pixar's first feature film to be released in stereoscopic 3D. And then it talks about a little bit of the animation a bit, which it like uses the 3D landscapes inside 2D characters. And that's what makes it kind of stand out. And it's people say it's like one of the most inventive Pixar shorts that they've ever done. But, you know, we still have one more round of Pixar Shorties after. Maybe something is even crazier than that. But yeah, like I said, this is like one of the most visually striking shorts that we've seen so far. And 5-star, 1-star. So 5-star from Janma Liporati. And this one is, what is this movie? 5 stars. Next 5-star from Esha Esh Thakur. This was so funny, and it was like two people showing what the things people do are like in nature. I can't describe it. 5 stars. You know what? You could not describe it.
No. It's pretty poignant.
Yeah. And that's actually, Sam, you brought this up earlier, and I was going to say this, but like, it is a hard one to summarize. I had to watch it twice to try to summarize it. And like maybe 2 minutes in, Laura and I were watching it, and I just put the phone down and I was just like, I'm just going to watch it as it is and then watch it again later and like have to slow it down. And this one I will try not to like, it can't be the beat by beat moment because this thing moves at a clip. There's just so many different things that are happening inside Day and Night, right?
Yeah. And it's tricky too, because you can describe it like literally what's happening character wise, but it's also like the internal stuff that you see visually and the audio that you hear, that like all that stuff together makes it.
And it all works. It doesn't muddy. It's like the fact that it's readable and you still know exactly what's going on this short is like so impressive, because technically you've got like 4 things going on when all the characters are on there, but you know exactly what you're supposed to be looking at and what is important. So it's just like a really well done film.
For sure. 1 star from Jack Edwards. What about evening and morning? Where are they?
Oh God! Get out of here, Jack Edwards.
Another famous Kid Cudi song.
Sure.
Evening and morning.
And that's it for 5-star, 1-star. I think, did I cover everything? Hot takes. Let's go into hot takes. Does anyone have hot takes for this one?
The pool scene reeks of Lassiter.
Yeah. I actually did watch for the credits to be like, was this one John Lasseter as well? Just
think he
because
was
of that stuff.
They're all
Executive
John
producer.
Lasseter. Yeah.
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 Any other hot takes we have? Mine was, I guess, the radio tower scene. But I mean, like, it's not that hot of a take. I think they could have been a little bit more subtle about it. But I agree with Laura's point that for a short, then maybe it's better to just tell the audience, especially if they're aim for a younger audience.
I definitely think, I don't think it's really a hot take, but Day is for sure in the wrong for a lot of this beginning. He's the one that like starts the fighting and like keeps pushing back. He hits first.
Yeah.
Day's definitely the jackass. In
Pokes
this.
Knight in the
Fair.
dick.
Yeah.
Watch it
Sure he
again.
does.
It's pretty close to the Titanic. And my hot take was, I mean, it's not a hot take, but I just wrote, this is what Pixar is all about. And I think this is the type of shit that I love in Pixar, is when they have, we talk about this all the time with the movies and the other shorts that we really love. It's like simple idea, but blown up in a way that you're like, oh my God, fucking genius, but so simple at its core.
And pretty like experimental, which is, I enjoy that as well. It's kind of like Fantasia in a way. They're just like trying something really crazy and cool and seeing if it can work.
Totally. Yeah. All right, Sam, how about we go to you?
La Luna. All right. So, going into La Luna, it's got a 7.9 rating on IMDb and 88 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh.
It's loosely based on a short story called The Distance of the Moon, and it was paired with Pixar's Brave, which is probably why I didn't see it more than once before. So I vaguely remembered it when I watched it, but I also was like, didn't have a very strong connection with it. And to be honest, spoiler alert, I still don't. This one,
Wow.
it doesn't hold my attention very well, and I don't know. The visuals of the star stuff is very striking, but I just find this one kind of boring. So I was sad that this was mine. But here we go. It starts out with a boy and two men, his dad and his grandpa, or his papa and his papa and what's Opa or
Grandpapa?
I don't know, his grandpapa and his papa in a boat. And no, that's it. Grandfather. No. Papa and Bambino is the child.
Oh.
And they're just kind of like, you get the idea that they're, I don't know, it's like the middle of the night. They're in this little boat on the water, and they're just kind of dicking around at first. The Papa and the No give him a new hat, and they're both trying to make him wear it like their hats. Like, are you going to be like, a running gag, I guess, is just like, are you going to be like Papa or No or whatever? So then all of a sudden the moon appears. And
It's a pretty cool moment though.
It is.
Big old
That's
moon.
what I mean.
It's a giant moon.
I
on
think
the
you
horizon.
mean the La Luna.
Sorry, the
True.
La Luna. But yes, the La Luna shows up, and Papa sets a giant ladder up, so they all climb up to the moon. And it turns out that the moon is that luminescent because it's covered in little like luminescent stars, which I do like them. They feel very clinky. Like I'd like to kick them around.
I like the sounds of them.
They're very satisfying. Yeah, like little trinkets, I guess, like on the moon. And their jobs as they get up there is to like sweep them up. And so Papa gives him like a big rake that's like one of those like janitor ones that's
Push
like really
brooms?
straight across. Yeah, push broom. Kind of looks like his mustache. And then the grandpa gives him one that's like more of a moppy
Old-fashioned
style
corn broom.
It's a corn broom, yeah.
Sure.
I
Kinda
know
looks
my
like
broom,
his
Sam.
beard. Yeah, I know. It sounds he's like really up on his broom lingo. Which will he use? So anyways, they're kind of fighting over again which he should use. They're kind of fighting, and while this is all going on, a huge star then crashes on the moon, and it's too big for any of them to budge. So then Bambino turns his cap backwards, doing it his own way, and climbs onto the star and taps it with a hammer, and it bursts into 100 smaller stars, and then they all start sweeping them, and then I guess it turns out that their job all along was to sweep them to make a crescent moon shape, because then that's how you see the sliver of moon in the sky, because they've shoved all the little stars into this shape. And then they descend and their job is done. And now there's a crescent moon there.
Wow.
And I am whelmed.
I kind of like that reveal at the end. I thought that was like, oh, that's kind of neat. Like, I wasn't like...
So they do it like every night? Are they shifting it a little more? Like, are we seeing the whole... Is the moon's whole like rotation being done.
Yes.
I have
Sure.
questions.
Yeah, don't think about it too much.
You can't think too hard.
That's
on
their
this one,
job.
Sam.
That's their job is to sweep.
I'm
the
just
moon.
wondering how often they're. Okay, I'm being hard on it. It's fine. It's fine. I think compared to the other ones where you have today, it's just it doesn't hold my attention very well. He's just like kind of wandering around, and I get bored, and my mind wanders, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta pay attention to this. What's happening? So that's just how I feel about this one. But I am alone in that because there's some 5-stars here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I should go into particulars first, which I don't really have anything. There was like very little about this one on there. It says the animators employed watercolor and pastel techniques in the short as they wished to use as little computer generated imagery as possible. I did not fact check that or look at the short again to see.
I don't think it was that bad, Sarah.
It's fine. It's fine. I know. You know what? It's beloved. There's no 1 stars. Its rating is higher than Day and Night.
That's wild.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
So
this was part of I walked into Sam's office before this and she had like the IMDb up and I like looked at the rating and I didn't say anything, but I was just like, I have thoughts, and then like left. And it was the fact that it's like higher rated than most of the shorts we're talking about today.
Crazy.
yeah, I don't know. It's weird. But we have a 5-star here from Jay Alines. So amazing. I showed it to my kids today and they totally adored it. They told me that their teacher played the inappropriate version. I felt so bad for teacher, but hey, everybody makes mistakes, right? All right. I love every single one of you reading this. Have a good night. From Miss Me in Canada. A bunch of rainbow hearts. Caps locks. Love this short film. But I have to ask, what's the inappropriate?
It's where Bambino smacks Nono in the dick.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm surprised you didn't try to find that one, Sam.
I know. This was right before casting it. Oh my god. Yeah,
That's so
I should.
funny.
What do I even Google? I'm like, who is the? Maybe she's making it up. I'm like,
La Luna X-rated.
the X-rated La Luna cut. I don't know. So
The
yeah,
butthole cut.
the butthole cut. And then my only, I'll kick off a hot take here, but is this dad not the dad from Luca?
That's what I wrote
the
too.
dad from Luca.
It's gotta be, right?
It must be his brother, though, because we know that the dad from Luca
He fucks.
was born without one leg.
And
that too.
Yeah,
And
so-
he fucks.
And he fucks.
And this dad.
This guy doesn't fuck.
Yeah.
He pulls out a ladder that goes to the moon. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Okay, hot take. I have a few on this one. Speaking of that, hot take. That ladder's not big enough. To go to the moon? I mean, I know it's pretty close.
You travel the rest of the way in your imagination tongue.
I guess it was like he got to the top and then he has no ladder safety because he goes to the top rail and then he floats to the moon, right?
Moon's gravity.
Yeah. Other hot takes. Those stars look like they're from Kirby. Right? I think they do. And another hot take is I love it. Even though this short was, I agree, it's like, it was okay. I thought the reveal at the end was pretty decent, but yeah, it was okay. But I love when a character that is all eyebrows gets like surprised by something and then it reveals that they have actual eyes. I'm like, oh, that's a big moment. It's a big moment in the short.
I do like that. Yeah.
And it happens when our buddy Bambino discovers on his own that he can smash the top of a star to make them into little stars.
Bambino. What a rascal.
What a rascal. Yeah. Before we move on, Laura and Brad, I don't know if we had official takes from you of did you like this short or what do you think?
I have thoughts. I liked it a lot.
Wow.
What did this play before in theaters? Brave, yeah. Okay.
Oh, this is on brand for Laura.
I saw it in theaters and it has stuck with me ever since. And this was my first time watching it again. And I was so delighted to watch it again. I don't think it feels like a Pixar short though, because it is lacking any sort of silliness. Like, I feel like that's inherent to most Pixar movies and shorts. It's got like some nice emotional factors and some things that don't really logic. But I thought it was lovely, and I loved the little relationship and the way they all had 3 different ways of wearing their hats and 3 different ways to clean up the stars. And I love the idea. I think it's very romantic that a small family just goes up to the moon every night to sweep the stars to one side in order to keep up with the seasons or whatever they're called. stages of the moon.
Aw.
So I'm a fan.
Wow, that's nice. And
Cute.
here we have Sam
Cute.
bashing it, barely able to stay awake
bashing
for the 7-minute short.
It feels like a lullaby.
Yeah, I would say
It does.
there's probably there's a little bit of humor, but it's not like laugh out loud funny. It's more cute humor, right? Like which rake
It's not silly.
which broom are you going to use? That type of thing. Brad, are you on Sam's side, Laura's side on this? What do you think?
I did not care for it. It's okay. It's okay. It's mostly like the art style. I'm not a huge fan of. Kind of like that. What was that band one that we
One Man
looked
Band.
at?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like the short itself isn't bad, but I just don't really like the style that they went with. And I feel like Luna is very similar, where it's just like those muted tones. Like the designs are cool because obviously like the one dad is at least inspired later for Luca, and that design I love. So like the designs are good, but it's something about like I guess maybe the painterly look. There's just something
The
about
little
it that
kid, like he looks like a different studio did him. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah, I
little
agree.
boy.
it looks like more like an independent film, like very low budget versus Day and Night or the other two films we're about to talk about. Like La Luna just doesn't fit in to that. So the story is cute. The audio also, I don't really like the way that they mumble and stuff throughout. Like I get why they did it, but I was just like, I don't really
Maybe
care
they're
for
just
that.
speaking a language you don't speak, Brad. Maybe they
It's
weren't
true.
mumbling at all.
Yeah,
I only
Simish.
know one, so yeah, everything else sounds like mumbling to me. But yeah, so I don't know. It's fine. I've seen it once. That was my second time. Probably won't watch it again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you have it. Laura, do you want to move on to the Blue Umbrella?
I'm so sorry. I do have hot takes.
Oh, give your hot take,
Yeah,
please.
okay.
Please.
First take is that I would never use a rake to clean up stars. Can you imagine like the scraping noises of the metal
yeah.
on the, like, it feels like the stars are metal. That would be a nightmare. My second take is that I actually think that this is way too much power for 3 people to wield. Because if you think about it, they control the moon, and the moon controls the tides, and tides control the oceans, or they control like the movement of ships, and ships control the movement of goods, and goods control money, and money controls everything else. So
Oh, fuck.
technically they're like
Gods.
gods.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Pixar thought about that before they put this little ditty together.
Bambino's a tyrant.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Part of the inappropriate version.
That's it for me.
oh wow, that's a great hot take. Well, how about we go into the Blue Umbrella now, Laura?
Okay, let's talk about The Blue Umbrella. This movie is called The Blue Umbrella. This takes place in a city at night, maybe New York. I don't know. And in this city, there's a storm coming. How do we know there's a storm coming? Well, it's getting dark. Some streetlights turn on. We see we hear the first raindrops fall on the city. And as the raindrops fall onto all of these objects throughout the city, the objects become animate. And we see the sidewalk smile, and we see the mailbox hum along with the sounds of the rain, and we see the grates join in. And then we see this beautiful bright blue umbrella that's just relishing the rain falling on it as it walks through the city. And we see more faces in fences and in restaurant signs. And in these faces, there are eyes that follow the umbrella through the street because it's such a bright, happy umbrella. It's very easy to notice. And then we stop at a streetlight, and lo and behold, there's another umbrella there, a red umbrella. And the blue umbrella is looking at the red umbrella, and then the red umbrella catches him looking. I'm going to start referring to the blue umbrella as he and the red umbrella as she, because the blue umbrella does not have eyelashes and the red umbrella does. And in Disney speak, we know that means that red is a girl. So she catches him looking. He's like, oh, looks away, and then they're kind of like checking each other out. And then awkward, the wind flips him inside out, which is very, very embarrassing. But he gets sorted, and then they are kind of exchanging these flirtatious glances until their owners head in different directions. So the red umbrella continues walking down the street, but the blue umbrella heads towards the subway. And we know what happens to an umbrella when you get on the subway. It's got to close. So he's fighting, and eventually he's able to escape the grip of his owner, and he floats away on the wind in search of the red umbrella. And he sees her, but before he can get to her, he's swept onto the street and nearly run over. But this is where the friends who have been watching the blue umbrella, the other inanimate turned animate objects of the city, are kind of helping him out, and they're sending him this way and that way until he meets an untimely run-in with a city bus. And at that point, it seems like all hope is lost. Who can survive? But then this crooked blue umbrella is picked up off the street. And who is hovering above him but the red umbrella? And then their owners make some sort of contact, and they walk to a cafe together, and they sit down at a table outside in the rain. Oh, cute. Because you can be outside in the rain. It can be enjoyable.
It seems miserable.
That's a little bit about the blue umbrella.
Excellent.
It's from 2013, directed by Sascha Unseld. No Lasseter involvement. Just wanted to release that. And to mention that it was released with Monsters University. In terms of where it came from, Unseld got the idea from seeing an abandoned umbrella when he was in San Francisco one day. And then the animation team took inspiration from visuals of San Francisco, New York, Chicago, Paris. It feels very New York to me, though. Apparently, as they were establishing the animation, the look of the umbrellas was really difficult to figure out. So ultimately, what they decided to do was to go with like an early Disney looking style. A quick did you know is that the street corner where they stop is Park Ave and Hollis Street, which is apparently the location of Pixar headquarters. And lastly, did anyone else think that this might be an homage to any other Disney properties that we've seen before?
Wasn't there like...
Was it the unicycle?
The Johnny Fedora and Alice Bluebonnet.
Okay.
You got it. So it's unconfirmed, but it could be considered an homage to the two of them.
Is that
which
Make Mine
was
Music?
my first thought when I saw it. The red and the blue. I was like, well, we've seen these two before. They're just reincarnated.
Oh my
you got
gosh, that's hilarious.
You got it. I do have some 5-star, 1-star. So I guess I can share the reviews. Rotten Tomatoes, 81%. IMDb, 7.5 out of 10. There were 3 5-star reviews and no 1-star reviews. So I'm going to read 2 of the 5-star reviews. This is from Cruz Morales Valeria. The short is very nice. The background song is very relaxing and moving. Without a doubt, my favorite short film. Translated by Google. Es muy bonito el corto, la canción de fondo es muy relajante y conmovedora. Sin duda, mi cortometraje favorito. And then we have another review from Mabo. In the 6 minutes, everything is included. Joy, drama, sadness, and love. Translated by Google. In den 6 Minuten ist alles drin, Freude, Drama, Traurigkeit und Liebe.
Wow.
Thank you.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Question for you all. Did you enjoy the blue umbrella?
I liked it a lot more than Red's Dream, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The other rainy New York story.
Cool. Brad,
yeah, it was
Sam?
cute. Yeah, it was very unique style. I was kind of weirded out by all the like faces in different things.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of like creepy at times to me almost. But yeah, very different style for Pixar. I thought that like almost like hyper realistic, but like cartoon. Yeah.
I'm surprised this didn't come before like Good Dinosaur or something, because it's like so realistic, and like it blew my mind even watching it this time. As soon as like watching the rainy street, I like thought about the opening of Toy Story 4 with the rainstorm and stuff, where I was like, man, this looks so real. But then you have the cartoony umbrellas. So I remember seeing this one in theaters and thinking it was pretty cool and very cute. So I like it.
I thought it was all right. I thought it was
okay.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, definitely Johnny Fedora and Alice
Alice Bluebonnet.
I don't know. In my memory, I'm like, did I like that one more? Maybe because it had a theme song to it now that I like it more.
Heavily narrated.
It was all right. It was all right. It was striking though. Like I thought the rain sounded really good.
Especially at the beginning.
Yeah, very like slow drips and then like the full rain that came down. Yeah, that's all I had to say about that, I guess. But
it's kind of mid. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's not like in my
terrible.
top 5, I
No.
would say, but
there was a lot of
it's fun.
slow-mo in this as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, unexpected.
Yeah. Just out of nowhere, I'm like, did Zack Snyder do this one?
I thought when it first happened, like in the very beginning with the title, I thought my video was like buffering and like lagging.
Yeah, it's a type of slow-mo where they stretch it too long and then the frames get cut. And it's just it just feels like, ooh, they maybe should have not slowed it down that much, I think.
Yeah.
But
Challengers did it better.
Challengers 100% did it better. I have a few hot takes,
Please.
if I may.
Yeah.
Everything has creative ways to show eyeballs, like the screws and vents, but the umbrellas, they're like, fuck it. Here's some super animation, super animated cartoony eyes and stuff like that. Like everything else that has like, oh yeah, the screws on the light posts or like the windows, like the way like some of the, I don't know, freaking curtains are like, they will form like a eyebrows or eyeballs. And
I read a little bit about that online too. One of the things I mentioned was that the animators found it really hard to figure out the style of the faces, and so they had tinkered around with like trying to make it look more organic, but ultimately they were like, nah, we want them to stand out, let's just make them cartoons.
Yeah, I think it's ultimately the right call, because if it, like, I don't know where you would put the eyeballs on an umbrella and if it would land the same way, but it is weird in this world where everything else was like, let's use realism to show their how they smile and stuff like that. Second thing, I have a hard time imagining all these people that are walking the street wouldn't just find shelter in that much rain. There was so much rain.
It's New York.
There's so much rain.
They got places to be.
Like, all right. And the last one is all these inanimate objects are very invested in these two umbrellas love story.
Yes.
Like they go out of their way to get them back together.
That's the universe, man. It's blowing us all around.
That's it. And also, I think the soundtrack was also kind of nice in this. All right. Well, let's move on. Speaking of soundtrack, I know Brad is dying to sing.
Also, I just need to point out, because I Googled Johnny Fedora and Alice Bluebonnet just to recap what it looked like, and I was scrolling down a bit. And my art for the podcast is on the Google main page.
Ooh. Get out of here, really?
Yeah.
Wow, shit.
Famous.
Do we get royalties from that?
I know.
Nobody else is
Alice
drawing
Bluebonnet.
fan fiction.
There's actually quite a lot of fan art.
Is there? Oh, wow. That's crazy. I wonder how that even happens.
I don't know.
That's fantastic. Well, like I said, speaking of singing and all that, Brad, sing away your next short here.
Sure, no problem. I think you're all gonna lava this one. It's pretty good. I'm talking about Lava, which came out in 2014 ahead of, I believe, Inside Out, I think it was.
That was Inside Out 2015?
Yeah.
It might have been made, and this happened with another one that I did where it was the year before, but I think it did like the festival, and then it
Inside
actually
Out.
like
I just double checked it. Yeah.
Yeah, it did like the full release with Inside Out. So this film starts, the colors, first of all, just picture like super bright colors, kind of Moana-esque.
Totally.
Very bright greens, bright blues, very beautiful. So it opens with this giant volcano in the distance and these giant letters that say lava next to it, just filling the screen. The camera's like sweeping across the ocean. Ocean's moving super fast. The volcano's slowly getting closer because it's just so massive. We finally sweep closer to the volcano, moving over all the trees and the foliage, and we come across some birds that are flying, and everything's like so tiny. They're really just selling like the size of this huge volcano. As we kind of like start transitioning to following the birds flying, this ukulele starts playing, and we start to hear this song, and we see this volcano, and the song is about how this volcano lived a long, long time ago, alone in the sea. I'm not going to sing it.
Damn it.
I have a dream. I hope will
I have a ukulele.
There's like the song, but then there's the volcano song within the song too.
I know, yes. Yeah. So he starts singing, and the song that is about the volcano, not his song. The song that is about the volcano is about how he lived a long, long time ago alone in the sea, and he saw all these other couples around him. Like the whales are together, the turtles are together, the dolphins are together, the birds are together, and we're seeing all these different things, and the song is telling us about how he's seeing all these, everything else is paired off except for him, and he wishes to the heavens to send him somebody to lava, and that's his song that he sings daily, every single day. As he's singing his song, his wish to find somebody to lava, we get this amazing time-lapse shot where the volcano is just in like the lower kind of like quadrant of the screen, and the stars and the sun are like cycling by, the clouds are taking him over, he's like overflowing with lava, and it's just like an unknown amount of years. It's a very cool time lapse. And we see the volcano during this time lapse slowly start to wither away and get smaller until just a tiny amount of him is left, and he's basically finished. He's close to extinction because he's been around for so long at this point. It's at this point that we transition to under the water, and we see that there's another volcano that's down there being below the water this whole time, that he couldn't see her, she can't see him, but she can hear the song that he's been singing every day about trying to find somebody to lava. And through hearing the song every day, she grows to love him over all that time, believing his song that he's singing was meant for her. So the main volcano sings his last song of hope. The other volcano down below has finally built up enough lava to rise up to him, and it's all like exploding around her. Very cool effects. And she bursts up through the ocean in this giant explosion. It's very cool. And there's like smoke and soot everywhere and all that. And as it dissipates, we find she's actually facing the wrong way, and the original volcano is like, again, almost finished in the water, but behind her, and he's now submerged. His mouth is below the water. So he tries to call out to her to let her know that he's there, but he has no more lava to give him the strength to call out, and he's below the water.
Is this when you cried, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I was crying right when like she's singing, or like
how the song's meant for
she's
her.
Underwater.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't sing the song, but the song is singing about her and how she thinks the song is for her.
Yeah,
she's not singing underwater. I thought she was singing underwater, but like obviously.
Okay, but either way, the first volcano can't hear her. Only the audience can.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. So because the original volcano can see this other one, but they can't see or she can't see him, he can't see her face, he starts to cry and fills the sea with his tears. And he watches his dream disappear as he submerges and sinks down into the ocean. It's at this moment that she remembers the song that he sang and how much it meant to her, and she starts to sing the song. And upon hearing the song, the first volcano reignites in a heart-shaped lava cracking explosion with the power of love and lava, of course. And he rushes back up to the surface of the sea in another big explosion. As that all finally dissipates, we now see that they are now together, holding their hands the way volcanoes do. And we hear from the song that their love is now able to grow and grow. And the short ends with them singing that song of hope about finding lava. And they proclaim their lava for each other. And it's very beautiful. And that's lava, everybody.
I can see like Sam holding back, not like she wants to sing the song.
I know. We've been singing it for like 2 years.
It's such an earworm. It gets stuck in my head so easily. Like before the cast, I was like, I have to try not to sing this like while we're doing stuff at the beginning. Like it just like wiggles its way into my brain so hard.
Yeah,
getcha.
It's the most like 4 chords type of song. Like it sounds like a Jason Mraz song.
Well,
here with me, and I am here with you.
It's so cute. I really like this short. I think the visuals are really cool. I like the characters. I like the song. As Sam said, it's very catchy. It's very cute. It's a very emotional song as well. It's funny because after we were watching this, I was saying to Sam, if we'd watched this like 2 months ago, we could have picked this song as our wedding song.
Oh,
Ah,
I know. I
You had a
forgot that
lovely
this song
song, though.
existed. It would have been good.
would have been good.
Yeah.
Would have been
So
good.
it's very cute, and yeah, I think this one is up there for shorts that are on my top list at least.
Wow.
I think it's among the most memorable. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, it's also like full musical, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably why it's one of the most memorable as well. But like it is definitely visually striking too.
Yeah.
It's also one of the longest shorts, I think. Like it's like 9 minutes.
I keep getting all the long ones.
Yeah.
Every week I'm getting
It's
God
true.
damn, I'm having to sit through all these long shorts.
Hey man, you got the pleasure to watch Bounden, so
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. First
And
you
this
get a
one was
poem
good
and
to
now a
recap.
song.
At a certain point, I was like writing my notes, and I was like, "Wait, am I just writing the lyrics to this?"
yeah, you had the easiest
Short.
job. They literally
True.
just tells you what happens.
Yeah. So yeah, what did everybody think of this short?
I enjoyed it. I did feel like there was a second verse missing. Like I feel like not to make it longer, but it feels like it moves so quickly from like establishing it to being like, oh, now he's dying. I just wanted a
True.
little bit more in the middle.
The time lapse does go quick, and then you're like, "Oh wait, he was like." I had to rewind a few times because I was like, "Wait, he's like basically dead now." Like I didn't get
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
He goes quick. I mean,
that's volcanoes. do.
considering it's millions of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it too. I think it could have been shorter. Maybe that's a hot take. Like I do like it. I think it's just like it is the same, and it is a catchy song for sure. But it is the same song throughout the entire.
Yes.
Like it doesn't really change melodically throughout the entirety of it, and they sing the same verse like 3 times, 4 times.
That's
right?
the chorus.
She sings,
Of
and
course.
then they both sing together.
Yeah.
They sure do. They sure do. But it is like, yeah, I do enjoy it. It is definitely one of the more memorable ones.
Yeah, I like this one. What do you think, Sam?
Man, this is like definitely one of my favorites. I don't feel like I thought so. This one I have like a strong nostalgia for as well, because I remember going to see the like pre-showing of this at the animation festival. Pixar came and like did a talk and like talked about the making and then showed it. And I feel like when I saw it then, I thought it was all really cool, but I don't know. I feel like the first watch, I was like, yeah, maybe. But then as I kept singing the song and it was infecting my brain, I was like, wait, I do love this. And then I remember hearing it when I was like out in public. Like I was in a store once and this song came on and I was like, what? Like the Pixar song. So yeah, I just kind of have like a fond memory sitting in that theater, like watching and listening to the people talk about making it. And they talked about how they went to Hawaii and like obviously they were trying to make it sound like that guy that sings the Over the Rainbow.
You're
that
stepping on my toes here, Sam.
Sorry. Were your toes gonna talk about the camera stuff too?
My toes were going to talk about a lot of things.
Okay, well, yeah, those were like the things they talked about in this thing. So I thought it was really cool to like, I feel like that was one of the more memorable short presentations I went to because they had like a lot to like actually like explain about it and stuff. And yeah, I just like the song and it makes me cry like every time.
Every time.
It's
Now-
so cute.
Brad, question: was Sam full bawling, or just like what level of crying was Sam at?
She was her regular crying level where she's like trying to pretend like she wasn't just crying, but she was clearly crying and currently crying, but she's trying to have this face where she's like, I'm fine, I'm not crying at all. It's a
Fooling
pretty
no one.
standard Sam face, yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, with you mentioning that, Sam, it did remind me, I do vaguely remember seeing this for the first time and not really being like super blown away by it. I thought it was like cool and cute and fun, but it didn't really like stick with me necessarily. But I feel like every time I've seen it since then, I like it more and more. Maybe it's just
Your lava grew and grew.
yeah, my lava is growing and growing, and maybe it's the soft. As I'm getting older, I'm getting softer and
For sure.
all that. But for animation angle sort of stuff, so this was directed and written by James Ford Murphy, who's like a Pixar veteran animator. He's worked on a bunch of their projects. as Sam was saying, the story was inspired for him by the isolated beauty of tropical islands and the explosive allure of ocean volcanoes. When Murphy heard the rendition of Somewhere Over the Rainbow and What a Wonderful World by Israel Kamaka, wait, I
You can
practiced
do
this.
it. You can do it.
Kamaka Vivole, Israel Kamaka Vivole. He was so touched, and that was a large inspiration behind the sound of the song that we're hearing. He thought to himself if he could connect the feelings he was feeling while hearing that version of the song to the love and experiences the love that he has for his wife and Hawaii and the experiences that they had in Hawaii, that would be a really nice short. It would be one that he would want to see. So the actual story idea for the short began to come together at his sister's wedding. So I guess while she was getting married and up on the altar, he was sitting there thinking about how I guess she got married pretty late in life, like late or mid to late 40s, something like that. So she was getting married later in life. And while he was watching her up there, he was thinking to himself about how happy she was and how long she'd waited for this day to happen. And he felt that was kind of like an epiphany. Then got him thinking, oh, what if my sister was a volcano? And what if they spend their entire lives searching for love like humans do? And that's kind of where the story for this kind of came from. I didn't see this till after, but the volcanoes do have names. The male volcano, well, I guess not male, but the main volcano is
The volcano with
Uku.
no eyelashes.
Yeah. Uku, like UKU.
Okay.
Yuku, maybe.
Sure.
So that's the main volcano. And Lele is the love interest volcano.
Ukulele.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I was also wondering, I asked Sam before this, I was like, how do you pronounce the instrument that they're playing in the song? So I wanted to see if she was
Ask
going to
Tongue,
say
he'll tell you.
ukulele or ukulele.
Yeah, Laura and I always get an argument because when I bought a ukulele, like a few years ago, I had like a good few months where I was really learning the ukulele. There was a video of the guy like giving you free lessons and stuff, and he's like, "Hey, welcome to these lessons for ukulele. Yeah, we call them a ukulele thing. A lot of people call them ukulele, but that's actually incorrect. So I started calling them ukulele out of respect." But anytime I say it, Laura laughs at me as if I'm saying it wrong. So, anyways, it's ukulele, everyone.
It just feels like if you were like, actually,
like
it's
a fraud
Barcelona.
saying
You know?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
like
actually-
saying poutine instead of poutine.
Okay.
It took me a long time to get used to saying poutine now that I'm in Ottawa. It feels more natural now.
Poutine.
Poutine.
This is
You
actually
grew up in
reminds
Ottawa,
me
yeah?
of today. I was with some friends at lunch and or coworkers, and someone was like, "I'm not a big soup person." So I'm like, "Have you had ramen? Have you had pho?" And she said, one of the other people are like, "Do you mean pho?" And I'm like, "Are you correcting a Vietnamese person on how to say pho?" And I kind of lost it for a second.
That's when you almost blew your lava.
That's why. That's
Yeah.
every night.
Uku is, and I've seen this before on like Reddit and all these other sites where there's some post on Tumblr or something about somebody being like, fucking Pixar and their male volcanoes and female volcanoes and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like comments being like, well, actually, like they're based on these, like the singer, like Israel and his wife and blah, blah. I couldn't find any actual evidence of that. I did look for like 5 minutes, so not super long, but I did try Googling it and seeing if I could find out if it actually was based on specifically those two. What I found is that Uku is an amalgamation, apparently, of the faces of Kuana Torres Kalele, I think is maybe how you say his name. He's the singer, the one that sings the song, or the male side. So it's a amalgamation of his face, Israel's face, the Jackie Gleason from the Honeymooners, and the Bulldog Mark Anthony from the Chuck Jones animated short film Feed the Kitty and a bunch of other things. Which then I was looking at the
Oh my
face and I was
gosh.
like, I can kind of see it. So I don't think it's like specifically that one guy. I think it's obviously like a handful of inspiration, but there's a nugget of truth there at least. And I couldn't find out if his wife, Israel's wife, was actually the main visual what am I looking for? Representation, inspiration, thank you, for Lele. But what I found anyway was that it's based on the singer like who did her voice, which is Napua Grieg, I think is maybe how you say her name, which I found some other videos of her. She's a very good singer. So yeah, that's where I think the visual inspirations are from, which I thought was kind of cool.
Cool.
Animation technique wise, I found a couple little blurbs. For once, I actually found some things about the shorts. I feel like often I can't really find much, but apparently James Ford Murphy was saying that the biggest challenge was that volcanoes don't actually move. So like, how do you animate a volcano? And obviously you could go super cartoony with it, but clearly they were going for more of a realistic look to the volcanoes. So they really relied on the different types of camera angles and using effects like the lava and the smoke and everything to give it a feeling of movement and emotion and all that kind of stuff, which is kind of cool, very animation-y. And I thought it was also interesting that he brought up that I don't know if they've done it before, but he seemed to say that like this is the first time where the characters are the sets as well. Because normally in Toy Story, they're inside the Andy's room, and Andy's room is the set, the characters are in there. But in this case, like the room is the character. So they had to like dress the character with all the trees and the effects that normally you would put on a set, and how does that all interact as a character moves and all that, which sounds very unique and challenging. Yeah, and that's all I really found for stuff. Sam, did you have other things from your talk that you heard a while ago?
You kind of mentioned the establishing shot in this film being like swooping in and showing scale, but like this short was like them testing out like this new camera equipment that was supposed to be like mimicking like a helicopter, like being on like National Geographic, like that kind of giant scale is something that they were definitely playing around with in this. So they kind of talk about that new camera development to get this look at the beginning. So I thought that was kind of cool too.
That is cool. I like that stuff. All right, so then into 5-star, 1-star. Oh, this movie, by the way, or not movie, short, has a 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh, low.
Which I feel like is too low for it. I get that it's just like a song or whatever, but that feels low. So the 5-star I have is from Andrew Contois, and he says, "It's the most fire short I've ever seen. Literally the best thing to ever meet my eyes. I've never felt more joy than watching lava. Even if it's only been out for 7 years," which I don't know why he says only been out for 7 years. 7 years is a long time. Even if it's only been out for 7 years, it's still the best thing on the internet. Lava is so great that even in my school, there are posters all over the walls in the hallway. They all say the best Pixar short, which I agree with.
What school is
that?
What? Sorry,
Maybe
my
in
notes
Hawaii?
have like the quote was too long. My notes are getting cut off. Posters all over the wall. They all say best Pixar short, which I agree with. Coming from a Pixar short expert, I love this film. 5 stars, easy. Every day of the week, I watch Lava at least 10 times a day. 5 stars.
Jeez.
Okay.
That's a lot of lava.
He's a Pixar short expert.
Yeah. Who are we to deny that?
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. As for the 1 stars, there were no 1 stars or 2 stars or 3 stars or 4 stars.
Wow.
So why it's 7.2, I do not know.
Good point.
So instead, in lieu of a 1 star on Wikipedia,
You're going to sing to us?
No, God, no. In the critical reception area, they have like good and bad. So I took the bad response from critics, which I had in my hot takes until I saw that there was no 1 stars, and then I'm like, I'm gonna move this up. So Pablo Riaz, he gave a negative review, describing its storytelling as lazy and arguing that there's no character growth, no arc, there's no story, it's just things happening on screen. That was his take on it.
There literally is an
literal
arc.
physical growth.
and an arc.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Michael Colin ranked Lava as one of Pixar's weakest short films based on the writing, saying it has too much telling, not enough showing. He did, however, praise the short film for its gorgeous animation and thought that it had a good idea, but still gave it a shit review.
Wow.
So those critics are, I mean, just wrong. That's not correct. Lastly, when I was Googling, I forget what I was Googling, but I came across a Reddit, a Reddit like thread that somebody started that was about how bad lava is. And I was like, I gotta grab this one too. So this one is from Might Be Dylan. Lava is played before Inside Out, and I've got to say, I was extremely disappointed. I always really look forward to the Pixar shorts, but Lava was definitely the worst I've seen. Beside an awkward premise and disappointing visuals, the song that accompanied the short was just plain bad. I did not like any of it. And all the comments under are just like, this has been 9 years and this is still the worst take on the internet. Like, shit like that. Like all the comments are just like, this guy's a fucking idiot.
Wow.
So yeah, those were my 1 stars. Hot takes, besides the lava, I don't really have any.
Wow. I like that. I
Yeah.
like that.
We haven't had a brought to you by in a while. Brought to you by lava.
I
was
mean,
thinking
this one
about
is
it, yeah.
so obvious. Yeah. Does anyone else have hot takes? I have a few.
We have a couple.
Ooh.
Go for it.
My first hot take is that the song that the volcano sings is so sweet. The I guess the chorus.
Have a dream.
Yeah, that bit. The rest of it sucks.
Whoa.
I hated it. It was so repetitive.
Long ago.
It was just the same thing over and over and over again. I was like, melodically, give us something new. Change things
You
up
must
a little
have
bit.
really hated when Tung was trying to learn the ukulele.
I was pretty okay.
He did
I
great.
feel like a lot of those songs sound kind of like that.
That's what I was kind of joking earlier, but this is a 4-chord song for sure, and it doesn't change, and it does sound like a Jason Mraz song.
It does change in the chorus. Like I feel like the chorus is so beautifully done, and then he just like put no effort into the melody
But
of
I
the
think
verse.
it's the same chords.
But they're
But
arranged differently.
yeah,
The melody's different.
Yeah.
So that's
Because it's telling a story. It is through song, but he's not trying to write a good song. It's
No.
you're
Maybe
passing down a story.
I just wanted him to try like a little bit. You know?
Yeah. That's
I
fair.
didn't write.
That's my hot
I
take.
didn't jot it down, but the director was saying he wanted the sound of the song to sound like a very old person handing down,
Mm.
as Sam was saying, like a story about the life that he had.
And I just want to add that the song was written by the director, not by
Yes.
like the artists.
Yeah.
So I'm insulting the director when I say that.
That's fair. That's fair. Sam, do you have any hot takes? Any lava takes? No? Okay. I have a few. Wouldn't it suck if they found out they hate each other?
Yeah.
At the end, they're literally next to each other, cannot escape. You can't escape. You're just like next to your
No.
partner, like I don't know,
That's lava.
a few feet away, and you're like, okay, well,
It's true.
Sounds
you know
familiar.
everything about me now, and you can't even walk away from the conversation. They're stuck like that.
You're describing our current circumstances.
Sure. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Here's another one. In the sequel, I want a love triangle with those two and Tafiti.
Do you mean a lava triangle?
A lava triangle.
I
That's
like
it.
that. I'm on board.
And the last one has to do with the lyrics. I don't care who you are and what you say. Yes, the song, at least it's catchy. The chorus is catchy, but Bava and lava is a lazy rhyme.
The sky up above.
If enemy,
Want to
if
love.
That's a lazy rhyme.
it's great. I love it. It's
Lava,
subjective.
lava also
lava
isn't a
it.
verb, so
I love it.
Guava rhymes with lava.
You know what? They worked with what they had, and I'm here for it.
They didn't try. They didn't try.
I think they tried really hard.
You should write the first one star was review for this.
Yeah, just Bava lava. Ah!
my
Lazy.
last hot take is that I bought some lava beads and made a friendship bracelet for Tung that says "I lava you,"
She did.
and he is not wearing it.
It's being
This would have been the one
displayed.
time to do it.
Feels like a missed opportunity
It's being displayed on the shelf. I forgot.
on the shelf that no one sees but him.
That's right.
Displayed.
That's right. I'll wear it. I'll
Yeah.
wear it. I didn't know there
You
were
best.
lava beads. What makes them lava?
I told
beads?
you they were lava. They're made of lava.
Well, not the same lava as these two.
How
Probably.
we don't know that.
We don't know. All right. Well, that's today's episode of Pixar Shorties. Hope you enjoyed that one. We have one more round of Pixar Shorties, which is Sanjay Super Team, Piper, Lou, and Bao, which there's some bangers in the next few. And yeah, it's kind of insane that the last one is Bao for the last original short for Pixar. But hey, I'm excited to get into it. So.
Kind of like the last time they made an original movie was around 2016.
Oh, you mean Wish? No. No.
I guess we had Elemental. Elemental was
Elemental.
nice. Yeah,
Elemental
we did
was
like
good.
that.
Hot take, that lava song is better than most of the songs in Wish.
That's not a hot take.
What are you talking about? I'm a star?
I'm a star.
Okay, here's another hot take. What if
I make a wish?
I like that.
What if La Luna had I'm a star in that short?
No.
It would have made a lot
It
more
wouldn't.
sense.
No.
Bambino just going, I'm a star. Anyway.
It would be the grandpa singing it. You just know.
We are all
I
shareholders.
was just going to say that. All right. Well, join us for our final episode of Pixar Shorties next episode. But until then, Laura and Sam, do you want to sing us out?
I just want to mention real fast, the next episode will be our 100th episode.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's
a big
that's
deal.
All right. Get
Maybe
the
we'll
booze
have a
out.
cake.
Crazy.
Maybe we'll have a cake.
That's insane. Cool.
Great.
Well, I don't even know what to say with that knowledge.
A cocktail.
All right.
A Disney cocktail, a Disney Dummies cocktail.
Ooh, I have edible glitter. Okay.
All right, we gotta workshop this. Yeah, this is exciting. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. But we'll think about that a little bit more. But until then, Sam, Laura, lava us out.
I
Have a dream. I hope will come true. That you're here with me. And I am here with you. I pray to the earth and the sky up above.
Find someone to love. Nailed it.